Difficult day with two players announcing they're stepping away from football. How do you handle that in the locker room and just among the staff?
Yeah, I would say with those two guys, first of all, they've been class acts in every aspect of our program, and both had tremendous futures in front of them, and still have tremendous futures in front of them. It's just going to be different now for them. I think they're going to continue to be very involved in the program. I think one of the things that's challenging sometimes, and I think you kind of read it in both of their quotes a little bit, is sometimes guys have long-term things that they're dealing with. Some of them come in with them from high school, just never able to get over them. So it's challenging. It's challenging for them. It's challenging for their parents. It's challenging for us as a staff in terms of managing a roster and depth and those types of things. But most importantly, I think it's difficult. This is their dream. This is their ultimate dream. And our game, that it's going to come to an end at some point. And they got to kind of shift their vision, and they all kind of have a vision or plan in their mind of how it's going to go for them, and then it changes. So I feel really good about the support system that we have, and this isn't something that just came upon us. This is something that's been going on for a while. So we just want to support those guys and their future endeavors.
James, about how these situations are handled. Is the medical staff involved, the parents, the kids? I mean, who all is involved in this?
Yeah, it starts with obviously the kids and the medical staff and their parents. We're a lot of times the last people to know. I mean, I think we have an idea, obviously, that there's some ongoing issues because these aren't anything that just comes up overnight. So in the back of your mind, you're hopeful that it's going to work out, but you also think, the kid's been dealing with something for a long time. It's challenging. But it is medical and kid and parent driven. But it's tough. Obviously, I got to be sensitive because I can't talk a whole lot about their medical stuff. But on the same hand, it's a tricky situation. It's a tricky situation. It's challenging. I think that the hardest part is these guys all have a vision in their mind of how this is going to play out. It just doesn't always play out that way. I would make the argument in some ways. I remember talking to a couple lettermen, former players here, and they went through similar experiences. And they said in some ways it's a blessing because at some point your career is going to come to an end, and you got to switch gears at that time. And for these guys, they're able to get started on a little bit earlier sometimes. It's no one situation is the same. They're all different.
That decision nowadays with some of the awareness about the health aspects.
I don't think so. I think guys still want to play until they can't play anymore. I think with the NCAA, I don't know how many years ago they created this. I think it was maybe 15 years ago or so. It was one of the better things that they did, the medical scholarship. But I don't see any of that. We're kind of having a strange year, to be honest with you. Some that that came in, and some that have been dealing with things for a number of years. So it's just kind of a strange year, to be honest with you. In my 23 years, I've never been a part of something.
You were happy with the defensive end depth. Do you still feel the same way in spite of the retirement? And have any of other guys besides Sharif Miller kind of separated themselves at the position?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we'd love to have Buck. I mean, he's been a very productive player, and all those types of things, and a great teammate. He's been an unbelievable teammate. But again, it's not like this kind of just came out of nowhere. So it's not like it was a shock for us. We knew it was kind of a challenge, for the last couple of years. So, but no, I think Sharif and Etor are doing a really good job. Shane's doing. I think we got a lot of depth there. Etor, Shane, Sharif, obviously. Shaka, as you know, brings an element to our package. Daniel Joseph's had a really good camp. So I still feel good about our group. We'd love to have Buck, but
James, what are the units down here? Not as specific, but in general, and how hard are they?
Yeah, to be honest with you, they're hard because they're coming to me and it's the finality of it, but it's not a hard conversation, in terms of what to do. Because like I said, when they come to me, it's already pretty much done. But yeah, I think the finality of it and walking into having the conversation with the head coach, it's either me and the doctors and the young man, or a lot of times it's the parents too. You know, so you know, I think although you know it's coming and you have an awareness that this is a possibility, the finality of it is still tough.
In terms that you guys have, do you think there's anything that could or should be done, maybe screening procedures that maybe would alert you guys to, or is it something that's just kind of difficult to detect?
I'm not sure what you're saying, because that's what we did. We did screen for.
Right, but I mean, like, would you like to see guys get screened at younger ages in terms of high school and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an expert on what happens in high school and things like that, so I can't really speak intelligently on that, so I won't do that. It wouldn't change a thing for us. You know, we recruit these guys. You know, when they got here, I mean, again, this is a situation that I have never been a part of before. You know, but I think in a lot of ways I look at it as a blessing.
Guys in such a short period of time. And is there any limit to how many medical scholarships schools are?
The first thing would be no. I've never been through something like this. Number two, I don't know that answer. Again, I've never been down this road, so I'm not really sure. And again, I think for you it may seem different than for us. You know, for us, we got one right now that we weren't that we were kind of blindsided by. You know, obviously coming in, and then we've had other guys that we knew that there were long-term challenges and issues with, and you just don't know how it's going to play out. You're hopeful that you drag it out over a year or two that, you know, we're going to find a way to solve some of the problems. But I've never been through something like this, and I don't